The sky over Europe was burning. One's pause. Black smoke stretched across the horizon like a scar across the sky. Explosions ripped through the clouds, one after another. One's pause. American bombers were falling. Some burning, some spiraling, some disappearing into the smoke below. Two's pause. At 18,000 feet, surrounded by enemy fighters, with no clear escape, a voice came through the radio. Red leader, break off. Repeat, break off immediately. Two's pause. It was an order, a direct command, a chance to survive. One's pause. Below him, 2 American bombers were already going down. Above him, enemy fighters were closing fast. Two's pause. Lieutenant Daniel Hayes had seconds to decide, retreat or stay. 3's pause. He chose to stay. 2's pause. And for the next 12 minutes, the sky would become hell. Headphone Childhood 134. Daniel Hayes wasn't born a hero. He wasn't a legend. And he wasn't trying to be one. One's pause. He was just a boy, growing up in Kansas, during one of the hardest times in American history, the Great Depression. Two's pause. Money was scarce, food even more so. His father worked long hours on the railroads, steel tracks stretching across endless land, for wages that barely kept the family afloat. One's pause. His mother stitched uniforms, late into the night, needle and thread moving under dim light, just to earn a little extra. Two's pause. There were no luxuries, no comfort, only survival. One's pause. But Daniel had something else, dreams. One's pause. As a boy, he would lie in open fields, watching planes cut through the sky, small aircraft dancing in the air, free from the world below. Two's pause. To him, flying wasn't war, it wasn't danger, it was freedom. Two's pause. Up there were no worries, no hunger, no struggle, just sky. Two's pause. And from that moment, he knew he wanted to fly. Headphone War begins 4:06:30. December 7th, 1941. The world changed. Pearl Harbor. One's pause. America was at war. Two's pause. Across the country, young men lined up to enlist, some for duty, some for honor, some for revenge. One's pause. Daniel Hayes didn't hesitate, he signed up. Two's pause. Training began almost immediately, and it wasn't easy. One's pause. Pilots were pushed to their limits. Endless drills, dangerous maneuvers, mistakes that could cost lives. One's pause. Some cadets washed out. Some never made it home. Two's pause. But Daniel stayed, not because he was the best. One's pause. But because he never panicked. Two's pause. When others froze, he acted. One's pause. And that made all the difference. The aircraft 6:39:0. Daniel was assigned the P-47 Thunderbolt. One's pause. It wasn't graceful, it wasn't sleek, it wasn't admired. One's pause. It was big, heavy, and loud. One's pause. Pilots called it the Flying Jug. Well, some laughed at it. Even enemy pilots underestimated it. One's pause. They believed it was too bulky to dogfight, too slow to react, too heavy to survive. Two's pause. They were wrong. One's pause. The Thunderbolt carried 8 .50 caliber machine guns. 8. One's pause. When those guns fired, they didn't just damage planes, they tore them apart. Two's pause. and in a dive, it was faster than almost anything in the sky. One's pause. It wasn't elegant. It wasn't pretty. One's pause. It was a weapon. Headphone the mission 90120. June 1944, Europe. One's pause. Allied bombers were preparing for a critical mission. One's pause. A heavily defended rail hub deep in enemy territory. Two's pause. If destroyed, enemy reinforcements would be delayed. Tanks, supplies, soldiers, all slowed down. One's pause. It could change the course of the battle. Two's pause. Daniel's squadron had one job: protect the bombers, no matter what. One's pause. The briefing was short. The warning simple: expect heavy resistance. Two's pause. They got much more than that. Headphone entering enemy airspace 12:050. Engines roared as the formation moved forward. One's pause. Then, the sky exploded. One's pause. Flak bursts all around them. Black clouds tearing through the air. Shrapnel ripping past wings. One's pause. One bomber lost an engine. Another fell behind. Two's pause. Then they appeared. Enemy fighters diving from the sun. One's pause. Fast, precise, deadly. Two's pause. Bandits at 2 o'clock. One's pause. The sky became chaos. Headphone the 12 minutes 15:019. Minute 1. Two fighters locked onto the lead bomber. Daniel accelerated. One's pause. His guns roared. One's pause. One enemy plane spiraled down in flames. Two's pause. Minute 3. Another fighter on his tail. Bullets tore into his wing. Warning lights flashing. One's pause. He dove, pushing the Thunderbolt to its limit. The enemy overshot. Daniel rolled and fired. One's pause. Hit. Two's pause. Minute 5. Fuel dropping fast. The radio screamed, break off. One's pause. He didn't listen. Two's pause. Minute 7. 3 fighters attacking together. One's pause. Outnumbered, outgunned. One's pause. He flew straight at them. Two's pause. It was reckless, it was dangerous. One's pause. It worked. Two's pause. Minute 10. Engine failing. Smoke filling the cockpit. One's pause. Only one enemy left. Two's pause. A final dogfight, spinning, climbing, falling. One's pause. Ammo almost gone. Two's pause. He fired. One last time. Two's pause. The enemy plane exploded. Three's pause. Silence. Headphone ending 19:021:0. The bombers crossed the target. They made it. One's pause. Daniel barely returned. Fuel almost zero. Aircraft torn apart. One's pause. But every bomber survived. Two's pause. Weeks later, the target was confirmed destroyed. Enemy reinforcements delayed. One's pause. The mission succeeded. Headphone final message 21. End. War isn't just won by armies. It isn't just decided by generals. One's pause. Sometimes, it comes down to a single moment. A single choice. A single person. Two's pause. 18,000 feet above the earth. One's pause. One pilot refused to turn back. Two's pause. And for 12 minutes, the sky belonged to him.